Well, friends and neighbours, welcome to the garage, and today's subject is Idiot Me. Well, I don't know. I'll tell you the story, I'll let you be the judge. But anyway, as we progress, just to let you know, we haven't put anything up for quite some time because there's some ridiculous renovations going on the No Talk Motorsport HQ, and as a result, the workshop is full of everything but car stuff. It's a pain in the backside for me because I'm not getting any work done on cars. Poor old Morticia is just about ready to be finished and the brakes are on her. I've got some other work to do on other cars. The brakes are on them. Today I thought, whilst there was a little bit of a hesitation in the rain, that I'd get just a basic service done on Mystique, the RX-8. And so we start prepping for, your normal servicing type stuff. And what does Idiot Features here do? Well, unlock the car, pull the bonnet, open the bonnet up. I'm doing stuff like that. And in bad habits, I guess some people might call it, what I usually do at the track is just leave the key on the floor of the car and shut the door. Well, I've done that with Mystique, and guess what? She's bloody gone and locked herself. Keys inside, car's locked, don't have a spare. The spare's up in Brisbane, and we're scratching our head going, what the hell are we going to do? Anyway, I did manage to break in. I'm not going to go to the ins and outs of how to break into an RX-8 because that's just irresponsible. However, yes, we did get the door open, we got the key out. We're just about to start doing the work on the car and the heavens have opened up again. I am getting tired of this rain, I tell you. We're getting plenty of rain around the No Talk Motorsport workshop, I can tell you. Anyway, so whilst the heavens are coming down, we've put the bonnet down, we shut the doors, it's still up on stands, getting ready to just do a basic service. Nothing fancy, nothing flash, but just for you young players and older ones that don't know better, be careful about just dropping the key inside the car. Be buggered if I can work out how it's locked itself in there, but it did. Watch out for that one. Anyway, moving on, we're going to get the service done on Mystique. We've got the parts arriving to replace the really dodgy cheap gauge that we've put in there. That'll be coming very soon. We've got some other stuff in the can ready to put out there to you. So folks, if you are enjoying that, that's great. I don't do tutorials, but if there is something I'm working on and you're not too sure how, I don't like to tell people how to suck eggs, but if there is something there that you don't know how to do or you're a little bit scratching the head, hey, drop a comment. I'll have a crack at giving you a helping hand, giving you some guidance. I'm more about ideas. I'm not a professor in teaching people how to work on cars, but happy to give you ideas. And if my ideas can also teach you the process of how to do it, let me know. Anyway, enough of that. I don't do the like, I don't do the subscribe. I think that's just a catch thing for bloody YouTube. I'm just happy if you enjoy the stuff I'm putting up there, just come back and watch me again. Thanks for that. See you on the next one. Well, guess what? That hasn't turned out exactly like we thought, so I've tricked you and tricked myself. It's not the end yet, we've still got more because the sky's dried up. Great. So we got into the servicing, and as we started to do some servicing on young Mystique, we got down under here and we found, if we can see what we're looking at, is that if you look closely in here, you can see a green drip. Not happy, Jan. Now, I know plenty of you have sort of said, as I get back up again, if you're going to use these aluminium radiators, you've got to put in a brass or some sort of non-plastic drain plug, and thought I'd try and get away without doing that and suffered the consequences. So guess what, we've now got a leak there in the plastic drain plug. We're going to have to go and source, probably the reason why I didn't put the steel one on, the brass one in, is I had difficulty sourcing one, so we're going inside and get on the computer and source one now. But given that we had to get in underneath with a lot more of what we thought, well, extra work of what we didn't think we were going to have to do today, well, we had the front end half disassembled, so we've gone, guess what, let's put in some extra. We've had these sitting on the shelf for quite a little while, so guess what, we've gone and put, well, the fronts are done, we've got the rears there to go, we're changing over to a set of coilovers. So, you know, the day's not been a complete waste. The fronts are done, as I said, rears are still yet to be done. Gonna go and see what I can find about getting a proper drain plug on this. I don't think we're taking poor old Mystique out tonight like we thought we were going to be, but them's the breaks. Alright, so come back to you in a moment when we've done something with the rear and sorted out something with that drain plug. Well, given that we've installed the front set of coilovers, we know that these particular sets of coilovers were set to a certain height on an RX-8 that we know, and I think I want about 5mm extra ride height. So what I've done, we've loosened off the bottom, we've lifted it up that extra 4 or 5mm, done it on both sides of the rear. We're going to put them in now, measure them up. If they're at the right height we want them at, we're going to make that readjustment to the front as well. So there are always times when the old porta power comes in very handy. Got it. Righto, so we've put the coilovers in, adjusted the stance on it a little bit, thought it was a little bit too low, so we brought it up just a tad. Yeah, kind of happy with that result. We'll see how it happens as we drive it. Okay, here's one that's really of no great consequence, but for a mind like mine, it really doesn't add up. Nearly every one of my cars here in the garage have 19mm wheel nuts. Japanese car, Mazda, on the logo, use all metric bolts and nuts. The wheel nuts on this car are Imperial. Work it out. I can't. Alrighty, so we're hoping today we're going to get Mystique finally finished off. What began as just a simple service, which wasn't going to be filmed by the way, has turned into a calamity, snowballed into a calamity of items just one after the other. Anyhow, the green drip, a lot of research going into finding out what replacement we need for that plastic bolt. We don't know if we've got the final answer because it was a harder process than we really anticipated. But anyway, our best guesstimate is that this little sucker is going to do the job. Fingers crossed. Let's go and have a crack. Yeah, the easy way could have been just to take the plastic one out, measure it up, get the right one, put it back in. But of course, cheapskate here, I've only just recently done a full coolant replacement. Didn't want to have to drain the whole coolant out and put a whole lot of new stuff in again. So what we're going to try and do is do a real quick swap over of one to the other, fingers crossed, this is the right one. If it's not, well, yeah, we're probably going to have to do it the long way. Let's see what happens. Well, friends and followers, there it is. It's in. There's no green drips coming out at the moment. We'll leave it sit there for a bit just to check it. We'll even run it through a heat cycle and check it to make sure that she ain't going to leak, but it's snugged up nice. There's a copper washer in there to squash a little bit up, so fingers crossed that's actually the drama. Now, if we look at the plug we pulled out, I don't think so much that the dilemma was in the plug itself, but maybe that rubber O-ring which we'd over tightened, and she was distorting out of shape and allowing the coolant to go past. But things being what they are, we've replaced it, we've put a steel one in. Let's anticipate that that is going to be the end of the problem. Alright, so with that, we're going to put it all back together, take it for a rip. You've seen the suspension. We'll give you a rundown on what the suspension's like. Let's wrap this episode up very soon. Well, everybody, finally, that brings us to a close on this episode. An episode that took us way too long to film. Getting some parts, working out the right parts, getting them in, getting some other stuff changed. What was supposed to be originally just a very basic service, takes what, an hour and a half, has taken me forever. So the service has been done. We fixed the drain plug on the radiator, got a nice steel one in there. It's not leaking. We did take it for a run, got it through a heat cycle, and that's dry as a bone. The new coilovers that are in there, nice and low, good height. We did lift it a little bit, but it's still, you know, probably a good 15, maybe even 20 mil lower than what it was from the factory with the Bilsteins. Certainly a lot firmer in the ride, I've got to say. Not uncomfortable, well, not too uncomfortable. Well, how about we put it like that? But certainly, yeah, quite a bit firmer than the Bilsteins and the factory springs. So, that's the girl done. As you can see, we still don't have our workshop because ridiculous stuff going on with the renovations around the house that I had no influence on. But anyway, the girl's done. We're on to back onto Morticia. We've been working on Morticia while we're trying to get this done. So thanks for once again having a look. We'll see you again very soon.